This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of Phatts TV, sanctioned by PA Phatts and the non-genetically proven Sun. Any and all words have been authorized during the show. There is nothing off limits. Nobody is restricted from watching and participating in the show. It is a free-for-all. Commencing at the siren, any and all discussions will be legal for an extended period of time. Sports, politics, and any and all controversial topics will be talked about. You have been warned. May God be with us all.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Phatts TV on this Thursday night, December the 10th. We are back. Joining me from his underground bunker deep in the heart of progressive Bastion land in the center part of the state, in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, is your non-genetically proven son.
Woo!
Haven't seen you for a while.
Talked to you yesterday.
How was your Thanksgiving?
I had baked ziti.
You had baked ziti.
And meatballs.
Is that what's inside a turkey? Is baked ziti inside a turkey?
Right. I don't eat turkey.
You don't eat turkey.
I had a you Thanksgiving, something you would make for Thanksgiving.
A me Thanksgiving, huh?
Garlic bread, meatballs, and baked ziti.
Garlic bread, meatballs, and baked ziti. All right, so we reformatted the screens a little bit. We're a little bigger now.
See that?
You know, because I'm getting fatter sitting at home. So, you know, gotta reformat the screen. Yeah, you know what? So yesterday, as you heard him say, we were talking yesterday. He calls me. He was out practicing bowling, just in case there was going to be a bowling tournament this weekend, which we'll talk in a little bit. There's not now. And he thought he was doing a couple things wrong, so he called his coach. And he put up the video, and I was watching it. And at one point, he kind of turned the right way. Looked like he's getting a little bit of a beer gut there. Been doing a little bit of drinking since your birthday 3 weeks ago.
Or just sitting at my desk because there's nothing else to do up here.
Yep. So, before we get into all the stuff that we want to talk about tonight, I want to first talk about where the platform that we're using for our show on YouTube. Now, YouTube earlier this week came out with a new rule that it talked about uploading videos, but I'm going to assume it also means when you're doing live shows like we do ours live. This is not on tape, it's live. Basically, if you start talking about conspiracy theories about the election, they're going to take you down. They'll take the video down. Yes, person in the upper left-hand corner.
That sounds like censorship.
It does sound like censorship. It does. It does. Yes. Yes, it does sound like censorship. I don't know if YouTube considers itself a platform or if it considers itself it probably considers itself a platform. So by rights, no, they can't do that, or they might lose their 230 protections. But so if at any time, all of a sudden, we just disappear, YouTube has decided to take us down because, you know, we're talking about how, you know, Joe Biden actually didn't win the election. Yeah. But
click.
What?
Still on, all right.
Yeah. Still there. A bot didn't catch that yet. But I want to start tonight with the good comrade. Comrade Wolfie.
Whoa, no, it is upgraded to a different word.
What word? Go ahead, say it. We're all adults here.
Wolf.
Go ahead.
Dictator Wolf. That's what it's upgraded to.
Dictator Tater Wolf. Enunciation on the Tater Wolf. So new COVID guidelines today in our state go into effect at 12:01 Saturday morning. Restaurants, once again, are shut down except for takeout and delivery.
Walmart can stay open, though.
Entertainment industry shut down. Movie theaters, arcades, bowling centers, that kind of stuff. Any indoor gathering at all, with the exception of religious gatherings, the state has learned from being sued, other states, all indoor gatherings are limited to 10 people. Now, originally on Tuesday night, when I first got wind that this was coming, it was supposed to be all people from different households couldn't get together. So in other words, if I wanted to come to your house for Christmas, couldn't come to your house for Christmas. Under Tater Wolf's rules. I kind of like that word. Thank you. Thank you for suggesting it. The good comrade is now the Tater Wolf. Yes. I like that. Thank you. Thank you for thinking about that. So, but now it's indoor congregation, no more than 10 people allowed. Again, these aren't laws. So, let's see where this goes. Now, you may have heard that Tater Wolf tested positive for COVID-19.
He must have got alcohol without food.
So is he not following his own rules? I mean, we're told masks work, and he says he wears his mask, all the time. So either he's lying, or masks are not 100% effective. I believe that they're effective. Who knows if they're 100% effective?
If masks are effective, why are we in quarantine? If quarantine's effective, why do we have to wear masks?
My thinking personally, he and Dr. Rachel.
Oh, geez, no.
We're doing a little licky, or is it sucky? I'll let you guys visualize that.
What?
Glad I didn't eat dinner yet. So yeah, good old comrade Tater Wolf. These, by the way, restrictions last all the way till Monday, 8 a.m., January the 4th, 2021. At least I think it's 21 and not 25. Who knows?
Yeah, at this point,
who
might
knows?
Be 2025.
Who knows? So, no Christmas, no New Year's Eve parties. Yeah.
Whatever.
Now, they say cases around the state are exploding. I saw the statistics. My question is still, what you don't know is how many more people are getting tested. Now you could drive up to CVS and get tested. At least the CVS in my town. You make an appointment, you don't even have to go into the store. You can do it right in the drive-thru. Believe it or not.
You just stick it up your nose and give it back. There you go.
I don't know how effective that is if somebody wants to jab that up their nose themselves.
Or
supposedly it has to go pretty far up your nose.
Like, with our school, when they were doing the saliva test, they'll get, like, the last week, they probably got 20,000 tests to go through. And It's really quick. It's done by serial number.
Yes. Now, saliva tests are easily understandable. So, a lot of the vaccines now are good to go. They started over in England.
Across the pond.
Couple people, though, went into anaphylactic shock from these things. So they're saying if you have severe allergies, don't take this. Yet, at least. So know that when this comes around, the United States, and it's coming. Pfizer's just got approved this afternoon. So know this. If you're not in an industry where you're going to be required to take it, and probably eventually the way this country is going, you're going to be required to take it sooner or later to go anywhere. We'll see how that goes. But just know that if you have severe allergies, they're recommending you not get this for now. So we'll see where that goes. As always, our message board is live and operational. Should you wish to chime in, let me know where you're watching us from. If you have any opinions on any of the things that we talk about, or if you just even want to call me a dictator too, Dictator Phatts, feel free. Feel free. So, on Tuesday, the great state of Texas chose to sue 4 states: Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Now, when a state sues another state, this isn't unprecedented. States have sued states before in the history of this country. It does happen. But when it happens, the only place it can be rectified is at the Supreme Court, if the Supreme Court chooses to take the case. So they're alleging that these states violated the Constitution on the changes that they made to the election law. Now, I want to take you back all the way to September. Getting our time machine and warp back to September, when the Pennsylvania Supreme Court came out with these new rules for our election. I sat right here, and said to you that these rulings were illegal.
And unconstitutional.
What were these rulings? The Supreme Court of Pennsylvania all of a sudden was allowing 3 extra days to get votes in. They were not, you didn't need signature verification. The state Supreme Court ruled that, not the legislature of Pennsylvania. That's the legislature's job. It's the legislature's job to make law. The executive, Dictator Wolf, signs it. The courts adjudicate it. Courts don't make law. They adjudicate law. So they just came out with these rules. Now, of course, there's 7 members of the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, 5 Democrats, 2 Republicans. So, of course, that's what they're going to do. Because we all know the Democrats like to rewrite things as they go to serve their purpose. So, being in the state that we're in, the legislature, a couple of the Republicans, first tried to get this overturned, and they took it to the state Supreme Court. Now, the state Supreme Court threw it out. They basically laughed. But the reason that they gave was interesting. Now, when cases like this go up the chain through the courts and eventually get to the Supreme Court, whether it's the state Supreme Court or the U.S. Supreme Court, a wrong has to be committed. A law has to cause injury. To say, not somebody gets injured. Like, think of the case out in Colorado when the baker refused to bake a cake for the same-sex couple that were getting married. That went against they argued it against the Equal Protection Clause. Or something. I think that's the clause that they used. So he used the law to adjudicate injury. So I argued on this show that when the state Supreme Court did this back in September, nobody brought a suit forward for the state to... Nobody was injured yet because the election didn't happen yet. So nobody could be injured. yet. But the state decided it this way anyway, which I said was illegal. So now a couple members of the Pennsylvania legislature sued and went to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, and the Pennsylvania Supreme Court threw it out. But why did they throw it out? They said you didn't bring the case to them in enough time. They didn't throw it out on its merits. They threw it out on it took them too long to appeal to get the case to the Supreme Court. Horse hockey. Bullshit. That's the state Supreme Court covering their ass, ladies and gentlemen. The state Supreme Court of Pennsylvania is probably the most corrupt Supreme Court in all of the United States. The good news is for the citizenry of this state, Supreme Court people have retention votes every 10 years, I believe it is. So we have the opportunity to kick them the fuck off the Supreme Court when they come up for retention votes. So remember their names, and I will in a future show I will give you their names. Remember their names. Get them off the court. If they're not going to follow the rule of law, A, they should be in jail. Gitmo would be a great place for them. Just get them off the court where they don't belong. So we'll see where the U.S. Supreme Court is going to go on this. They were supposed to have the, all the paperwork in, the motions on both sides, the plaintiffs and the defendants, by today. They said it's going to be expedited, so we'll see if they're actually going to have a case in front of the court. We'll see how that goes. A bunch of states have joined Texas. Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Utah have joined in on the suit. There's also been a number of attorney generals in other states file amicus briefs in support of the suit and why they support it, why they think this should be ruled this way. And of course, there's some other idiots on the other side that are saying it should be thrown out, and this is why it should be thrown out. So far, there's 39 states that have either joined in the suit or put in amicus briefs for or against the suit. So those 39, and then the 4 that are being sued. So there's 7 states left that haven't done anything. I know Alaska was one, Idaho was one, and I don't remember the other 5. Alaska wanted to do it, but they said they didn't have enough time to file it. Idaho was afraid that they were going to get countersued at some point, so they didn't want to. They wanted to be Switzerland and not get involved, basically. You have anything to say about this non-genetically proven son?
I'm just listening and learning.
I'm glad you're learning something.
I don't know why this is even a fight. It was unconstitutional, period.
Right. So the question is, what happens if the Supreme Court takes the case, listens to the case, and decides that the plaintiffs win? What happens? Do they throw the electors out of those states? Do they allow the state legislatures to decide? Which, when it comes right down to it, that's who really decides the electors of each state. If they throw them out, nobody hits 270. You got to have 270 electoral votes to become president. If all those get thrown out, if each of those states get thrown out, nobody hits 270. Non-genetically proven son, what happens if nobody hits 270?
Speaker of the House becomes president.
It does not.
Yes, they do.
It does not.
If they actually vote, then no. Then we have a convention of the states.
No, that's not what. Come on. You said you learn when you listen. What happens if
there's vote by state?
Who votes? Come on. Come on.
The House.
The House of Representatives. Very good. Votes by state. Each state gets one vote. Every member of the state votes. Whoever gets the most votes in that state gets the vote for that state. If it comes down to it, if all the Republicans vote for Trump, if all the Democrats vote for Biden, Trump is still the president because they control more states than the Democrats do. It's either, I think it's 26-23 or 27-22. You notice that only comes out to 49. Because there's one state that has 20 representatives and it's tied 10-10.
Woo!
Wonder what state that is.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, that's right. So, either they don't cast a vote or one of those 20 has to flip or vote for somebody else. Which could happen.
Yeah,
so, that's right. I should get votes for president. I would make a really good president. I would.
You would. It would be very similar to this last presidency. You'd have a lot of people that love you, and you'd have a lot of people that literally hate you.
Yeah. The question is, what side do you fall on?
Switzerland.
What?
Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Neutral. I don't talk about it.
Oh yeah, because I'm paying off some of your college. Yeah, I get it.
Are you gonna run as the what party?
Neither of those.
Well, I can't remember the party name that you posted on Facebook.
Really?
Yes.
So now you're gonna make me scroll through my Facebook. The Patriot Party.
Huh?
The Patriot Party.
Patriot Party. There you go.
The Patriot Party. So any day now, probably tomorrow, if not Saturday, we're going to hear from the Supreme Court. But again, let's continue. So let's just say the Supreme Court rules that the state legislatures decide what happens. Well, meaning the House of Representatives in each state. Again, in all four of those states, Republicans outnumber Democrats, so they're going to put Republican electors in. Ergo, Trump probably remains president. Now, bad things are coming either way, in my opinion. If, for some reason, Trump keeps the presidency, there's going to be a lot of rioting. A lot of looting. Big cities are going to burn.
The military will be getting involved.
The Insurrection Act, I'm sure, will have to be put into use if that were to happen. If Joe Biden whoever Ando 56 is says they've never seen this side of me.
Oh? This isn't even that bad?
This isn't that bad. You haven't seen the best parts of me yet. We'll get there. Trust me, I got some things to talk about tonight where we're going to get there. So keep watching. If Joe Biden gets in, first, I don't think he's going to be president for that long, and we're going to talk about why in the next segment that we're going to talk about. I think eventually people like me are going to get pushed too far. And we're just going to keep getting pushed and pushed and pushed, and we're not going to take it anymore. And you know what? There's something in the Declaration of Independence that I actually thought about starting tonight's show with a really good video on the reading of the Declaration of Independence, but I decided not to do that and wait till Tuesday's show to do it. So tune in Tuesday, where we're going to devote a lot of the show to something. I'll let it be a surprise. But yeah, whatever happens, things aren't going to go well in this country. And shit is going to have to change. unfortunately. Hello, Andy. So, why do I think Biden is going to be president for that long? Well, there's a lot of things. The 25th Amendment to the Constitution, for one. He's just in there, first off, as a figurehead if he takes the oath of office. The forces that run the left side of this country certainly do not want him in charge, no more than they wanted Trump in charge. They want the leg spreader in charge. Kamala. That's who they want. They basically forced Joe to take her as his VP. Knowing, if you guys do your research on Joe Biden would have never picked her for VP. And I'll let you guys figure out why on your own. So, Andy, if you like what you're watching, get your other friends on and tell them to watch. Let them learn something here. So, what news of somebody with the last name Biden hit the newswire this week? It's even like on CNN and MSDNC. Do you know non-genetically proven son?
Hunter
Biden is being investigated.
Where's Hunter?
Out having sex with an underage minor, probably snorting cocaine off of her chest.
Yikes.
There's a video of that going around. We'll get to something like that a little later, too. So, if CNN is carrying it, if MSDNC is carrying it, they obviously want the story to get out there. Joe is going to have to resign. Whether by hook or by crook, whether they force, well, behind the scenes they'll force him to resign, but will they let him save face and say, for the good of the country, I'm going to resign? Or will they just use the 25th Amendment and get him out of there? Or, COVID, there was an interview with him and Kamala last week where he said they are lockstep agreement on everything. But if they disagree on something, these were his words. These were Grandpa Joe's words. You ready for this? If you didn't hear this, I did. Grandpa Joe said, if there's one thing we disagree on, I'm going to come up with a mysterious illness and resign. That's what Grandpa Joe said. Have you ever heard somebody who was going to be president or president ever say such crap?
Can't say I have.
Can you see what's coming, America? If that guy takes the oath of office? Can you see what's coming? It doesn't take a rocket scientist. Not I will, Andy. You're going to right now. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We've been off for 3 weeks. See what's coming. It doesn't take somebody with an IQ of Albert Einstein to see this.
Hey, and that leads into what we talked about last night, where I want to do a show.
Yes.
A specific
That's
thing.
right. I mean, if my kid could see it, he's no Albert Einstein, the non-genetically proven son.
Thanks.
Well, no offense, you aren't Einstein.
At least I didn't get a D in college in German.
You didn't take German, or else you would have too.
No, I probably would have got an F.
So, I want to talk about this.
Aunt Roz says she's off for the next 3 weeks.
Who? What?
Aunt Roz. She says she's off for the next 3 weeks.
Yes. So I want to talk about this thing. I'm going to put a picture up very shortly.
Okay.
This thing has a name.
Okay.
It's an ugly thing. Dare I use the word fugly thing?
Oh.
What does fugly mean, non-genetically proven son?
Fucking ugly.
Fucking ugly. Don't scream. This, if you don't know, is Democratic State Representative Cynthia Johnson. Cynthia Johnson, Democrat State Representative from Michigan.
Okay.
She has a message for all you fans of President Trump, which I'm one. She has a message for me. She has a message for all 80 million of you, or 78 million, 90 million, however millions there are that like the president. She's got a message for you. So, let's see if I could play this. Hopefully it works.
So this is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. We ain't playing with you. Enough of the shenanigans. Enough is enough. And for those of you who are soldiers, you know how to do it. Do it right. Be in order. Make them pay. I love y'all.
What the hell did she mean by make them pay?
I don't know.
That's dangerous talk for a state representative. Talking about having her soldiers on that side make people like me pay.
So that side has how many million people? Just
12.
12? Okay, now give me a real estimate.
I don't know. Not many.
Let's just say 70 million Democrat.
How many of that side have guns is the better way to say it.
That was my next thing. And I was going to say, how many of us are there? What, 80 million? How many bullets do we have? What, 500 million?
I mean, we have a word for a thing like this. I'm not going to say the word, but it's a 4-letter word. And it begins with a C and ends with an unt. I'll let you put the pieces together. I have a message for Miss Johnson. We have soldiers too. If you want to fight, tell us when, tell us where. I promise you, we'll be there. I rhymed. Did you hear that? I rhymed.
Yeah, look at that.
Tell us when, tell us where. I promise you, we will be there. Miss Johnson. I might send a tape of this show to you.
Bye-bye.
You stupid piece of shit. How do they let representatives talk like this? Like, she needs to be censured for that. You can't be threatening people when you're a state representative. But we have state representatives in Pennsylvania do that too. I could pull up some Facebook posts from that idiot up in Scranton that likes to, threaten to fight people on street corners. There's a fight coming, all right. It ain't going to be pretty.
It may last not very long either.
It ain't going to be pretty.
Takes about 4 million people in D.C. It's over.
Yeah. Some of us will die.
They won't. They may not fight back.
Yeah. Some of us will die. So, I want to talk about this idiot. This turd. Whoops, where did his picture go?
What did you just call him?
Turd.
Turd. Oh.
Turd. I don't know why his picture just disappeared. I gotta pull his picture back up. I had such a good picture, too. Stupid turd. Let's see if I pull it up again, if it'll stay this time. No, I don't want you to play. See if I scroll down if his picture is there. Alright, so we'll pull up a different picture of him. We'll pull up his official portrait. Come on. Oh, his page isn't found. Interesting. So we can't pull up that picture. So we'll pull up this one. Aha. So let's talk about this douchebag. Eric Swalwell. Anybody ever heard of that name before? I have. Look at me raising my hand when you can't see it.
I have not.
He is a Democrat representative from the incredibly idiotic state of California. He is on, I believe, the House Armed Services Committee.
Okay.
He's been a bad boy.
What do you do?
That first picture that I pulled up had it was perfect. So now I gotta find another one. Ooh. Haha. Stay there. See that girl?
I do see that girl.
See that girl? Pretty girl. Pretty girl. He was banging her for years. Banging her. Not a big deal. Except she's a Chinese spy. What the fuck is it with Democrats and spies? This pretty little thing is a Chinese spy. A spy. Can you imagine this? The things he told her? He's on committees that get classified information in Congress. And he's banging a Chinese spy. Only in America, my friends. Only in goddamn America. What the hell is it with Democrats in China? Like, if you're a Democrat and you pledge your allegiance to China, what do you want? You get free, like, wonton soup or something? Huh? Do you get a coupon, buy one, get one free at Benihana's? Try not to drink while you're laughing. Seriously, what is it? What is it with Democrats in China? China is our enemy. They want to be the superpower in the world. They want to do anything and everything to take us down. But you guys just go right ahead and bang their women. Go ahead. She is pretty. Go ahead, bang their women. Take their coupons to Benihana's.
Yeah, but she's a spy.
Go get a Chinese massage with a happy ending.
Figure out she's a spy.
The fuck is this country coming to?
I was waiting for you to say she's like 16.
She's a spy! And maybe 16. Who the hell knows?
I did not expect spy.
All right. But I do want to turn to something very, very important now. Very important. There's a piece of legislation
Right.
that was voted on yesterday by the U.S. House of Representatives. Very important. In my opinion, it's the most important piece of legislation that has gone through Congress since the end of the Civil War. In my opinion.
Wow.
The Civil War ended in what,
Gone through.
1865? Somewhere around there?
Huh?
When did the Civil War end? 1865?
Something like that. And what, equal rights went through in the...
It's this more important.
More important than equal rights.
More important than equal rights. Sorry, ladies, this is more important.
I was going to say, what about women's rights?
Sorry, this is more important. This passed yesterday, 396 to 2.
Wow. Two.
Two people voted no. And shockingly, they were Republicans that voted no.
Interesting.
I don't understand. So I'm pulling up the legislation because I want you to take a look at it and see the importance of this. Come on, where's the votes? Passage? No. I'm just bear with me for a second, because I'm telling you, this is the most important piece of legislation that has gone through Congress since the end of the Civil War. And it was voted on yesterday. It's H.R. 5758. Okay? Now I'm going to flip the screen. Then I'm going to read the title of this bill in case you're looking at it on your phone and can't see the title, because it's not the biggest thing in the world. Again, I want to prepare you. The two people that voted no, by the way, whoops, and we might want to like write them a letter, and just like ask them, why in the world would you vote no on this? Their names were Representative Webster of Florida and Representative Marshall of Kansas. Voted no. Okay? The most important piece of legislature that has gone through Congress since the Civil War, and the bill was called the Ceiling Fan Improvement Act of 2020. Look, it's right there on your screen. The Ceiling Fan Improvement Act of 2020. That is, never mind there's a pandemic or possibly a pandemic killing people in this country. There's people out of work. People are in need of help. And we're talking about ceiling fans in the halls of Congress, ladies and gentlemen. Ceiling fans. Ceiling fans, ladies and gentlemen. It's a bill for energy conservation standards for ceiling fans. This is what we're talking about in Congress. Not unemployment benefits for those that are now going to be out of work again. in all these states that are shutting down. You know, nothing about vaccines and all this stuff. No. I mean, granted, ceiling fans are important. I have one.
I don't have it.
I have one in my in the other room too. I mean, ceiling fans are important.
Entire apartment.
The Ceiling Fan Improvement Act of 2020. And we pay our congressmen hundreds of thousands of dollars a year each to talk about ceiling fans. I give up. I do. I give up. I give up. Seriously. It's like, so help me God. So help me God.
You don't like the Ceiling Fan Improvement Act?
I mean, I get it. It's very important, but... So now let's talk about this fuckface.
Okay.
Pete Buttigieg, former Democratic candidate for president.
Okay.
Current mayor of Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay.
Sorry. He's the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. Sorry about that. All right, guy. Homosexual, no big deal. Who cares? I don't care. God bless. Be whoever you want to be. He's the mayor of South Bend. That is his political experience. Let me scroll up. Biden considering possible China ambassadorship for Mayor Buttigieg. Biden, if he gets in, is going to name Buttigieg ambassador to China. The country that is trying to kill us, he's going to put an amateur as its ambassador. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the president-elect, I guess you could call him.
I give up.
Buttigieg.
Are they just naming just random people to cabinet positions?
Some of his picks are kind of controversial.
John
but-
Kasich?
That asswipe.
What is he, Secretary of State?
No. I don't know if he's going to be named anything, but for a guy that I used to like that I can't stand now.
Toilet cleaner? Is that what he is?
I mean, he's not. Kasich isn't even qualified to come over and lick my toilet clean. Again, our message board is live and operational should you wish to chime in. Let me know what you think about all of this stuff that we're talking about. Because now we're about to change lanes and talk about something else. We're going to make a big detour, a huge detour, from the Ceiling Fan Improvement Act of 2020 to the Phatts Fantastic 5 for the week.
Woo!
The Phatts Fantastic 5. This is your chance to make money by listening to us.
No, listen to me.
If you listened to us last week, you made a lot of money.
You did.
You made a lot of money. In fact, if you listen to us almost every week, you're making money. Some weeks you're not making a lot, but you're making money. So, let's review last week's picks. Shall we? So coming into last week, the non-genetically proven son was doing really good. 35-25, I believe, right?
So I don't know, something like that. Coming into last week?
Yes.
Something like that, yeah.
35-25. That's 60%. I'm going to tell you this. If you're out in Vegas betting what people out there do, if you go 60%, you're a millionaire. A multi-millionaire. So all you got to do is be listening to this kid who knows really nothing what he's talking about when it comes to betting. He's never made a sports bet in his life. Now, he is, like, allowed to now legally.
I play FanDuel.
That's right.
I just made about $80 on FanDuel, betting $4.
Yep.
If I made 8 more fantasy points, I would have got $1,000.
Yep. Betting fantasy soccer.
Soccer. That's what I play, fantasy soccer, because I think it's really easy.
Yes.
Because I watch a lot of soccer.
Yes. So let's go over his picks from last week. He had Purdue, -1.
They lost outright.
They lost. He had Iowa State, -6.
They won by 40.
Good pick.
Good pick, yeah.
He had Da Bears, -3 over the Lions.
And they lost outright because they're trash. And gave up 38 or something to the Lions. 35 to the Lions. Come on.
And they like fumbled on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, something like that.
He goes out on a limb for 2 straight weeks and took the winless New York Jets getting 9
They should have won.
over the Raiders.
They were winning the whole game.
Now the Jets are my team. I know. God help me.
The tank so they can get Trevor Lawrence or a crap ton of draft picks.
The Jets are winning the game. There's 13 seconds to go about. The Raiders are on like the 45-yard line. They need a touchdown, and he calls a cover 0 blitz. Good job.
The defensive coordinator got fired the next day.
He did, as he should have. God only knows if they did that on purpose, because, like, I know the players don't want to go 0-16.
But the organization wants to go 0-16 right now.
If they want Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Because if they get 1 win and they tie with Jacksonville, for those of you who don't know, and I had to look it up because I didn't know, if they both have 1 win, who gets the first pick is by strength of schedule. Whoever has the worst strength of schedule gets the pick. Right now, the Jets were 22nd and Jacksonville's 27th. So Jacksonville would get the pick.
Then the Jets would probably get Justin Fields.
I think they would trade. I'm going to tell you this. If they took Justin Fields, I'm not a Jets fan anymore. I'll say that right now. Tell me any Ohio State quarterback that's ever done anything in the NFL.
None.
They may be good college quarterbacks. They do shit when they get to the NFL.
Well, they could take Micah Parsons.
Not with the number 2 pick.
He's actually projected to go 5 to Dallas.
His final bet was the under in the New York Giants Seattle game, under 47.5.
Yeah, it was like 3-0 at halftime.
So he went 3-2 on the week. Another winning week for the non-genetically proven son. Attaboy. So now let's look at PA Phatts' picks. He took Clemson -21 over Virginia Tech.
They won by a lot.
They won by a lot, but they struggled to get there. Let's put it that way. For a while, I didn't think they were going to win by over 21.5. I had Colorado -7 at Arizona. They won by 14, I believe it was, or they won by 13. Arizona had first and goal at the 4 at the end of the game and didn't score.
Nice.
I had Cleveland getting 5.5 at Tennessee. They won outright.
The to lose that game.
They tried to lose.
They tried to lose that game.
They tried to lose. The easiest bet of the week for me, I had the LA Rams giving 2.5 against San Francisco. The Rams have San Francisco's number. They always beat them under this coaching regime. Until the Rams get rid of one coach or the 49ers get rid of their coach, the Rams are going to keep beating them. And my final pick was the Washington football team, whose helmets look like Alabama, but yellow, the numbering. Yeah. Getting 7.5 over the Steelers. They won outright. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is that? Win. 5-0, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Gets me once again above 500. What?
That's 1 over 500, right?
I believe I'm 2 over now.
2 over 500. Wow.
So let's look at the picks for this week so you know where to put your money. First, we'll go to the non-genetically proven son. Look at this record. 39-26. Actually, I don't 3-2. I don't think that's right. I think it's not right. It's 38-27. So let's change that.
Is it?
Well, No, it is right. You were 36-24. Yeah, so you're 39-26 now. I was right the first time. So let's put that back.
Yeah, 36-24.
Yes. So, looking at your games, you take the under 68 in the Alabama-Arkansas game.
Yep.
Any particular reason why?
Alabama is got to get ready to probably play Florida.
Not gotta. They are playing Florida.
So I think just going to get a quick 30-10 win. I think that'd be fine.
So a good bet for this game, besides the under, I do like the under. I think the same thing, is to play Alabama in the first half.
Right.
At whatever they're giving. I mean, if they had their first string in the whole game, they could put 70 up on Arkansas.
Yeah, they easily could put 70 up on Arkansas, but he's going to play a quarter.
Probably a half.
It depends. If it's 28-0 after the first quarter, he's done.
So, yeah, because you got, the conference title games the week after. So I like this pick at under 16.5. You have Illinois getting 13.5 against Northwestern.
Same reason.
Illinois has to get ready for their conference championship game?
Huh?
Illinois has to get ready for their conference championship game?
Northwestern is getting ready for the conference championship game. And Northwestern has only won one game by more than 13.5 this year.
Good looking up information.
First against Maryland.
Okay. You have Iowa getting 1.5 against Wisconsin.
I thought this one was a no-brainer.
I seriously thought about taking this game too, and then I didn't.
Wisconsin's kind of butt.
Butt?
Yeah, it's
kind of butt. Kind of like
Iowa's
butt
bad,
Bajaj?
So
okay.
Iowa's winning that game outright.
Okay. You have Kansas City giving 7 against Miami. I actually do not like this pick. So that means Kansas City is going to win by 30.
Well, when I did a little bit of digging I was like, I looked at it, I was like, eh. Then I looked at their defensive stats for each team. Kansas City was like 12, and Miami was like 14. So they're very similar. But then I looked at their offensive stats.
Mm-hmm.
Miami's offense sucks on average yards per game. They're 30th, and Kansas City's 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think, because Kansas City hasn't locked in that division yet, I don't think.
I don't know.
So, I think they win by 20.
So, like I said, I like Miami, so that means Kansas City wins by 30.
Right.
And your final pick, you go to Monday Night Football, and you take the Cleveland Browns to get some revenge on an early season shellacking that they took at the hands of the Baltimore Ravens.
Cleveland's winning this game outright.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
The other game I wanted to take was Pittsburgh, because I wanted to take the Bills, giving 2. But I'm worried Pittsburgh is going to come out pissed.
Okay.
Well, maybe not. I don't know. But I'm worried that they might come out a little mad.
Okay. All right. So, let's go to my picks, shall we? I am actually... You were right. I am 1 game over 500. 33 and 32.
Still good.
This is the non-genetically proven son's first look at my picks. He does not see my picks before now.
Rutgers!
I took Rutgers! On the road, catching a touchdown against a Maryland team
It hasn't played in like a month.
that's played 1 game in a month. Now, granted, Rutgers didn't look too good last week against Penn State, but they looked decent every other week.
I would say Penn State played the best defensive game they've played since 2016.
Yeah.
That game.
They did. They played a really good game. So I think Rutgers is going to hang within a touchdown. Maryland shouldn't be a 7.5 point favorite against Scranton State School for the deaf. Maybe the Little Sisters of the Poor. Maybe.
Damn.
And then I go to where I suck and play the NFL. I'm doing really good in college and really bad in pros, and I do 4 pro games. I'm taking the Saints laying less than a touchdown against those stinking Eagles.
I didn't like this game.
New Orleans is the #1 defense over the last 6 weeks or something like that. They're not even allowing most teams to score 17 points. And now, of course not. Skip Moyer just messaged me. So let's take a break here. He says, Burks and Easters are refusing to close.
I'm not surprised.
So we'll see where that goes.
I'm not surprised. That's
Um,
not get them very far.
doing my show here. So, New Orleans, this is a tough spot to start a rookie quarterback. So,
Yeah.
against the #1 ranked defense over the last 6 or 8 weeks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Very tough spot. Now, we this year decided to limit our picks to just sides and totals for the whole game. If we open it up to take whatever you want, I would have loved to take the team total under in the Eagles. Just the Eagles, because it's going to be somewhere around 18. So we'll see where that goes. Minnesota, Tampa Bay over 52.5. These teams have been putting up points the last few weeks. More importantly, Tampa's coming off their bye. They had a very late bye. Tampa knows they got to start playing good if they want to make the playoffs.
And Tom Brady off a bye is amazing.
Tom Brady off a bye is amazing. Expect that game to go over the 52.5.
And 10-7.
Yeah. Kind of like the Memphis Navy game a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Indy, Vegas over 51. Both teams like to put up points. Vegas doesn't play a lot of defense. How many points did the Jets score on them last week? Enough?
30 something? No.
20 something.
Let me look. Give me a minute.
Hurry it up,
28.
statistician. 28. They scored 28. So what do you think Indy's going to do?
I'm worried that Vegas is going to play one of those games where they score 3.
I don't think Indy has that kind of defense.
Indy is one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah, not lately.
Against the Packers, they did.
They still gave up 20-some points.
Like, the Raiders scored 6 on the Falcons.
Yeah. Because they played their worst. The Raiders played their worst game since the 60s against the Falcons.
Every other game, they're not doing bad.
And my last pick, I'm taking the Buffalo Bills over the Steelers. I do agree with the non-genetically proven son that I would love Buffalo. This would have been my game of the year if Pittsburgh had beaten Washington.
Yeah, that would have been my first pick, Buffalo.
This would have without a doubt been my game of the year, if it still was, too.
Now, next week, when Pittsburgh's 11-2, I will be playing Cleveland, because I believe they play Cleveland next week.
See, the thing about the Steelers, right now they're very one-dimensional. They can't run the ball. So they're doing it all on the pass. And it's been their defense that's been winning them their games, and now all of a sudden they have injuries all through that defense.
No, they actually play the Bengals next week.
Okay. And then they play Cleveland after that, right? Or they play Cleveland the last week of the season.
Week 16, they play in week 17.
Okay. So, that's my Fantastic Five for the week. Rutgers +7, New Orleans -6.5, Minnesota Tampa over 52.5, Indy Vegas over 50, and Buffalo -2. And to once again see the non-genetically proven Suns picks at 39 and 26. He's got the under in the Arkansas-Bama game. He's expecting Bama to get up big and then rest their starters. Illinois +13.5. Iowa +1.5. Kansas City -7. And Cleveland +2.5. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the Phatts Fantastic Five for this week. So, before we leave, we did touch on it, that the conference championship games are next week. Interestingly enough, there's 2 pro games on too. So they're going to be going head-to-head against each other. Be interesting to see what more people watch.
College.
Because they're going to be going head-to-head during the Alabama-Florida game and then the Clemson-Notre Dame game.
Yeah, good luck.
And Green Bay is one of the teams that plays next week on Saturday.
Who they play?
I don't know. So there's going to be a lot of split screens going on. Now, we use Barstool Sports for our lines. What?
They play the Panthers. Ooh.
Okay. We use Barstool Sports.
Play.
Okay. We use Barstool Sports for our official lines. So wherever book you play, if you play, or if you play illegally with a bookie, these lines may differ. But right now, here are the lines on Barstool. Ohio State. Actually, let's play a game, non-genetically proven son. What do you think the line is in the Ohio State Northwestern game? Now, they don't have totals up yet, so just the line.
30.5.
30.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not even close.
Really?
Yeah, it's 20.5.
Oh.
Ohio
State.
Oklahoma, Iowa State. Who's favored and by how many?
Ooh. Iowa State by 1.
Oklahoma by 4.5. You suck at this.
What? What?
Notre Dame, Clemson. Now, we all know Notre Dame beat them in Notre Dame a few weeks ago with Clemson's backup quarterback. This game still went into overtime. Who's favored and by how much? Non-genetically proven son?
Clemson by 3.
Clemson is favored.
2.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
7.5.
What?
That line tells you everything you need to know. The Joes are going to look at that and say, Notre Dame's getting 7.5? Notre Dame beat them. The pros are going to load up on Clemson. Don't be surprised. Anything could happen in this game. Anything could happen. Don't be surprised, though, Clemson wins by 3 touchdowns. That line is telling you something. It's going to be interesting to see all next week what happens to this line. If it stays more than a touchdown, something's going on. Something rotten in Denmark, let's put it that way. Alabama, Florida. Who's favored? Obviously. And by how many?
Alabama by...
It's Alabama.
9.5.
14.5.
Jesus, I was thinking 7.5, and I'm like, nah, they're better than like Clemson, Notre Dame. 14, they're giving Florida 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
What in the world?
And last but not least, Cincinnati is a 13.5 point favorite over Tulsa.
What up on Cincinnati?
You would think.
Is there no Pac game next week?
No.
They don't have a championship?
I think they're playing it the week after or something like that because they started so late they weren't eligible to get into the bowls.
I have no
playoffs.
idea who's doing any good in the Pac, if anybody.
USC.
USC, yeah.
I think. It doesn't matter. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to call it a night here. We've been on for over an hour tonight. I've taken you long. Definitely want to join us Tuesday, and you want to join us all the time. Spread the word on our channel. If you like what you see, if this was your first time watching, hit that subscribe button in the upper right-hand portion, and if you have your notifications turned on, you will be notified each and every time we go live on Phatts TV. So, for the non-genetically proven son up in the upper left-hand corner, have a great weekend of doing nothing except getting takeout food.
Right.
And always remember, where we go one,
we go all.
have a good one, ladies and gentlemen.